Hello, we're sisters like Angel.
And Ally, where we highlight individuals making a difference in their community. And my name is AllyCat Castle, and I am a YouTube content creator, and I'm also a makeup artist for the Media News, and I'm also a mother to my cat, Skittle.
Oh, so cute.
Back to you, Angel.
Yes, and I'm Angel. I'm a registered nurse, case manager. I'm an actress, and I'm the sister of Ally. And happy Halloween! Thank you for joining us today. That we have a different setup that we're showing, highlighting individuals on a Saturday because we're having a live stream tomorrow for Starlit Diner Cast. But today we have a very special guest because I know her from back in college. She's part of the LGBTQ community, and I'll have Ally introduce her more.
Well, okay, so I would like to introduce no other than Mrs. Toni Benolirao-Collantes.
Yes.
My life coach, Toni.
Thank you.
And she is a life coach. And her being a life coach focuses on spirituality and well-being. And as for everyone to know, she was also a graduate of St. Scholastica High School back in 1999. She also graduated from De La Salle University in 2003. And she's actually the reason why I actually get to live my life today. She saved me 10 years ago from an unfortunate relationship. And she's also the reason why I actually have my son cat, my baby child cat, Skittles, because they gifted me Skittles, right, Skittles? So, no other than Miss Toni of my life coach, Toni.
Yes, welcome.
Introduce yourself. Welcome. Happy Halloween.
I want to add that she is on a long-term relationship and she has a son of a 17 years old. Like, I think those are like the best things I look up with you. You know, talagang you were able
to everything. That's true. Thank you so much, ladies, for inviting me in your show. And I feel so special. So yes, I am a life coach. I am also a concierge here. I live in Las Vegas. I'm currently in my house right now waiting for my wife. She works for the post office and my son is currently homeschooled because of the pandemic. But I'm just here drinking my juice because I believe in well-being, gut health, and spirituality. So yes, thank you for inviting me.
So we were asking you earlier, na you identify in terms of the LGBTQ community, queer.
Queen.
Did you know that term already from high school?
No, I was going to say Q for queen, but no, actually I did not know. So I'm not big with labels. I know like it was only LGBT before. And I was like, oh, lesbian this or like butch this, femme. And because in high school, you would identify, are you femme? Are you butch? Are you pink? Are you blue? Are you purple? Like in between. And so it was only like, and under the lesbian, there's like the butch, there's the femme, and you're like the purple in between, which is like you're bisexual. But I'm like all for it because I had like boyfriends and girlfriends. I didn't care who I was dating. As long as I was attracted to you, it didn't matter to me. So I didn't really use a lot of labels. But I do identify now, like I explained, as queer just because I recently learned, and it's like an everyday learning experience because our rainbow keeps getting like bigger. The spectrum and the ranges are like, you know, we're all learning together with the trans community, with the queer community, with like A+, whatever. And I learned that because I know people who are queer couples and it was a femme, and she was with a butch, but the butch transitioned into a trans male. So now that's considered as like a queer couple. And they didn't break up. She was there for the whole transition. So to me, I'm like, well, if I were to be with someone, it really didn't matter too. So maybe I'm a queer, like identify as queer, like it doesn't matter. If a gay boy would want to be with me and I'm like a woman identified like, you know, with my gender, with my genitalia, I would still be with them. It doesn't matter.
So in high school, you were already dating or attracted to males and classmates? Because
Yeah.
it's an all-girls school that you
Yeah.
went to, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So
Ali,
yeah, I was attracted to female that were kind of butchy. And then and to me, I was wondering, like, this is weird, but I never came out of the closet. There's no such thing. My family's very open. My mom is gay too. She's also a lesbian and also with a woman. So, but back in high school, she wasn't. So she wasn't open to me about that. But I was just like out in the open all the time. So I have no idea of people like National Coming Out Day. Like I never came out. I was just like myself. You know,
So
I was just like out and about. So
where did that comfortability came from?
I think it's in the confidence of how I was raised. I was raised by my grandparents, but also my mom, because she was raised differently. So she kind of switched it with me, making sure that I won't experience that, because she was always like full of shame from what she was. And she did the opposite. Like she wanted to instill confidence for me, and was proud of me, like no matter what. So it didn't matter like who I was dating.
I love that story.
So basically, also from what I know, you also met your wife now back in high school. So can you please tell us about your first encounter then with Kim?
It was crazy. I think she was I would say I was like 13, she was 14. I met her in high school at that age, like freshman year. And she was this butchy varsity basketball player person. And I'm like, who is that? Like I had to ask like someone, who is that? And they were like, oh, you should stay away from her. She's a player. You know, she has like a lot of girlfriends. And I was like, well, whatever. So then we got together. But you know, in high school, you're together for like 2 weeks. Like that's how it was.
Wow.
Back in high school. But we were together. Like I think she was one of my like first girl kiss. You know.
Wow. Were you in the same? Were you in the same class, or
No.
for example, in your country in batch?
No.
How many years was she ahead of you?
Oh no, we were in the same batch, but we were not in the same section. So that's why we were like connected, because 3 of her closest friends are my classmates. So she would always go to them and see them, and then I would be there.
So did you date in high school at all? Like, what kind of relationship did you have with Kim?
Writing letters.
Oh, so it's nice. It's like the traditional way of like dating then.
You know, the traditional Catholic schoolgirl way.
Wow. Would you ever like meet outside or date outside of school as well?
That actually happened after high school. So we actually did that. I was already in college. As a matter of fact, I was with someone. I had a girlfriend at that time. And then we kind of like snuck out and saw each other and watched a movie. Like a Robert Downey movie or something.
Did you still kiss each other in the movie?
Yeah. So technically, I'm outing myself that yes, I did cheat on my girlfriend at that time because I kissed Kim.
That's amazing. Okay, so fast forward, when did you kind of like, did you ever break up with Kim then when you were in college, or no?
We weren't together. It was.
Oh yeah, you're right. Exactly, because you had a girlfriend.
Like and then just fast forward to like college, and then so I went back to. I mean, I was in college. I didn't know what happened to her, and then the next encounter was that I think she was already in Indianapolis, and then I was living in San Francisco. I was pregnant at this time. From
oh my God, how did that happen?
Yeah, from a guy I used to date. That Angel was a witness to that. I think Angel was a witness to that whole shenanigans. And we were always hanging out at the Starbucks at the corner of Vita Cruz. Right? And
yes.
Right? So that was the whole story. So it's a lot of, like, you know, you do stupid shit when you're a kid. And then I did stupid shit. So I got pregnant, but literally after college. It happened right before I marched and right before I received my diploma. But I was already done.
So when so when you graduated, you did not know that you were pregnant?
No, I didn't. When I flew to San Diego from the Philippines, I didn't know I was pregnant. I didn't know at all. I was expecting my period. It never came. So I was like, oh, okay, fuck. I'm pregnant. So,
okay, so fast. Oh, God, sorry. So fast forward then.
Fast forward. Okay, so I was like pregnant, and then around like when I was like 6 months far, like I was on the IRC chat rooms, and Saint Skull had like their own chat room, and everybody was there that you know. And because I didn't have access to a computer, sometimes I would use my aunt's computer from San Francisco, and that's where I found like common friends. So she she knows this a lot. So her name is Toni Aure. So Toni was talking to Kim at that time, and then she told Kim, "Guess why God sent me to you? Because I found Toni." Because apparently they were always talking about me. Kim always told Toni that if she were to like have a girlfriend back from the Philippines, it would be me. Like if she would like look for someone, it would be me. So she kind of
Among
like,
the many girls that she dated in
yeah, and
high
I'm
school.
like, why me? That's so weird. She's like, because you're loud.
That's so amazing.
She said,
Okay,
yeah,
so
I had a loud mouth. That's what she said.
so what happened?
Then Toni said that.
Wow.
She
So
was
she
like,
likes
okay,
somebody loud.
yeah, and I'm like, okay, that's weird. And then so Toni said that, do you want her number? And then like Toni was like the middle person. And then I was like, Toni, I don't know, I'm kind of scared because that's kind of weird. Like I'm pregnant and I'm over here like flirting with like a lesbian, like hello, like I don't want to go there. Like I don't want to go back to that. Like in my head, I was just like, I'm always scared when girls are around because for some reason, like I do catch feelings for them like deeper. It's not about like faster, it's just like deeper. If I would get hurt from a relationship, it would be from a girl all the time.
Wow.
So that's
Would you say
kind of
that it's true that, if two lesbians started to date, they already bring their luggages on the first date?
the second. But to me, I brought my 2 suitcase for the first. We call it the U-Haul date.
Wait. So tell us what happened after Toni connected you to Kim. When was that moment and how was that moment for you?
That moment was I was so pregnant and Toni called Kim and then said, here's her number, or here she is, she's chatting here. This is her like username, from IRC. Go to the Facebook chat room. When you find that username, that's her. So then we started chatting there first, and then we started calling each other, and then it started. So we were long distance relationship for a long time. She was in Indiana, which at that time I was like, where? Like, I was like, what? And I was in San Francisco. And then we just talked all the time. I think that was like summer-ish of 2003. I gave birth in October. By the following February 14 was when I flew to Indiana with my suitcases and luggage on the first time we're going to see each other, and I moved to Indiana.
Wait, did you give birth already when you moved to Indiana?
Yeah, so I gave birth. So it was 2003. In July, we were together by July. That was July, like summer, right, of 2003. By October 1, I gave birth. And then by January 2004, we were already planning, like, you should stay here because I have a job and I already have my own apartment. So you should move here. So at the coldest of winter, that I didn't know because I'm from the West Coast. Like, I don't know how cold it is in the Midwest. I have no clue. I don't even own like a pea coat. I own like hoodies. So I moved and she was like, it's really winter here. There's snow in the ground. And I moved and I flew there at Feb 14. So I landed like Feb 15, like really early. And it was so cold. And I brought my luggages.
So wait, just like a quick question. How did Kim react when she knew you were pregnant? Just out of curiosity.
Because I told her, I didn't really tell her like through my words. I just say, hey, just so you know, you didn't know, like chatting, like, hey, she was like, you didn't know. And then now that she was telling me about it, like, when we were together, she said, like, I had to think quickly because I was 22 years old and I was thinking, oh my God, she has a kid. But for some reason, I knew you weren't with someone. I knew you were single. But in her head, she quickly decided that this is it. I've been waiting for her, looking for her for a while, for a long time, and this is my moment. I don't care if she's pregnant. I'll just be a parent. So that's what her reaction. So she was like, then we talk.
So when you flew there, with your luggages, did you have Ocean with you already as well?
Not yet. So Ocean went back to the Philippines when he was an infant with my grandma, with Mama Rose. And then he was there for like 8 to 9 months. So I can get settled in Indiana. So the following year, before Ocean's birthday for 2004, Mama Rose flew back and flew to Indiana to drop off Ocean. So there.
Oh my God, what a beautiful story.
And it's funny because Ocean grew up with Mama Rose like those couple months. It was hard for me to transition to pick him up. He was like didn't know me when he came back. But with Kim, like he immediately like went to Kim. It's so weird. Like
what did Ocean call you and Kim?
So Ocean called
up?
because his first words that came out was Dada. So that's what he calls Kim. And then he calls me Nanay, like mom in Tagalog. So that's it ever since, you know, as a child. But because I was like the swing shift, which I work nights and Kim works days. So normally the nights, it's always like Ocean and Kim together. So they have milestones together.
And for everyone's information, I was a witness to this. Whenever we're all together, because basically Kim, Ocean, and Toni adopted me when I moved there to Chicago and my relationship did not work out. People would always mistake Kim as Ocean's like biological mother.
Yeah, she was
Not
like the
even
birth mom.
Toni. Yeah, because they kind of had this like chinito or kind of like Chinese Filipino features and everything. That's so cute. Okay, so
how did people in Indiana react to having like you're both girls with a son, and it's like a more conservative state, diba? So what challenges have you had like with that?
So like in your 20s, you're always like gay pride, you know what I mean? Like attending all these pride. So I saw that transition, but honestly, surprisingly, they're very open to our family. I didn't really experience a lot of racism or prejudice because of like how we are. I think it's in the rural Indiana, like when we go to the countryside and you go to like a KFC and then you enter, because first of all, you're female, you're brown, and you're like gay. And to me, because I look as what society expects you to be as female, so I'm okay. But Kim was very butchy before. So she would enter and people would actually look at her. And she would go to the restroom and she would ask me to go to the restroom with her because it's intimidating. People look at you when you don't look female according to social guidelines, you know? So those are the challenges I feel like. But as a family, Ocean always knew and grew up that this is like his normal family, that he has 2 parents and 2 moms. So he would have friends that only had like 1 dad or 1 mom or like was raised by a grandma. So hold on, because Kim was calling. Anyway,
he knows we're talking about her.
I know.
Yes.
So yeah, so that was like more of like the issue. And I think it's not only in Indiana, I think that's everywhere, because even if you are in a progressive state, there are going to be people around you that are just judgmental. So it doesn't matter what you do, really. But I mean, we weren't hurting anybody. And as long as like Ocean knew what's up, because we always lived in different states. We lived in Indiana, we lived in Chicago, we lived in West Palm Beach, Florida. And now we live in Vegas. So everywhere you go, there's always going to be judgment.
So I think a lot of our viewers will be asking about what happened with the dad or the biological father.
The sperm donor, we call it
sperm donor. Sperm donor of that.
Yeah, and I'll explain why. So we call him sperm donor because I always believe that in order for you to be called dad, you need to earn it. So I think I've earned my way, besides me pushing him out of me, I've earned being called a mom, you know, or nanay, or with Kim especially as dada, because she did all the hard work. It's not like when people say, or when people, you know, see that Ocean achieves this, or he's this, or he's a, you know, great kid or whatever, that, you know, it attributes to us as raising him, but also he is his own person. But he knows, and everybody knows, that we call this sperm donor as that. And when people ask me, I was having a hard time talking about it before, but because he's older now, Ocean. So I'm okay because I think I'm like less paranoid if he's gonna be like picking a side or whatnot. But I don't think it's about that anymore. Basically, what happened is that there was a window of opportunity from when I was pregnant, and I was actually waiting for support from that guy, from that donor, because we were openly, honestly, we weren't dating. When I got pregnant, we weren't dating. Like I said, you do stupid things when you're a kid. So I was like always drunk, you know, like partying all the time. So that's what happened. So now moving forward, when I found out in San Diego that I was pregnant, I came home, we talked to his family together with my family. And then we came to an agreement that when I go back to the United States, not about getting married, but about being co-parents, apparently, supposedly, because you got me pregnant, you got to pay for and support me for like my checkups, things like that. Nothing. Like I waited for it and nothing. So when I was like, when Ocean was like super, super young, I think we still waited. If he wanted to support and be a co-parent, then there's going to be 3 of us supporting each other. You know what I mean? Like me, Kim,
Right.
and him. Still nothing. This guy is all talk. He's always talking about like, yeah, I'm going to send you money. I'm going to send you money. They had like the bank account where they could transfer, you know, just to support me, but really nothing. And there's like a lot of witnesses to that. It was just so hard to talk about this dialogue. Like now I'm comfortable, but before I can't talk about it like publicly because I want my son to grow just free from that kind of drama and then assess for himself now that he's almost 18. But going back, because I can be like, you can go back to the Philippines. If you want to meet him, that's fine with me. If you want to do that. And that's up to you. If you want to hang out with this person, because obviously he's probably like a loser. I don't know, you know, because he never made the effort.
Yeah.
Like,
Right.
you know, we opened those doors for an opportunity if you want to be a parent, if you want to co-parent with us, but he never really did, you know?
Well, you
I
have
wanna
to step up
congratulate you.
and
Yeah.
Well, I want to congratulate you and Kim for, you know, raising such a beautiful son, Ocean. And thank you for giving me the opportunity to be his kind of like auntie when I was there.
Oh, yeah.
Right? I really enjoyed that moment with Ocean. And okay, so now that you know you have like this beautiful family and everything, can you give us a little like snippet, like quickly of how it was of you moving out of Indiana and then going to Chicago and then to Florida and now you reside in Nevada. Can you give us like a quick summary of those?
It was always like us being just adventurous. And then we said, you know, our home will be wherever we are together. The home is the 3 of us. So from moving from Indiana, we bought a house there. We bought a house there. And then we moved to Naperville. Well, to Chicago area, Chicagoland, because of a job. So that's it. And then we moved out of Illinois because of the snow. Like out of the Midwest. That's why we moved to Florida. But then it wasn't so, like career-wise, it was just very kind of like unstable because it's a transient city. Just people visit there, and then in the summer it's super dead, only the winter time. So, you know, another opportunity was like to go back to Indiana, and then a couple of months we stayed there. And then we finally decided that Kim said, why don't we go to Vegas? It's like affordable there, you know, like. And then she tried to apply, like just out of luck, or what needs to happen is that she just applied at the post office. And that's it. And then she was like, oh, she got accepted. And then she, you know, they asked her, can you fly in for an interview? And then she did. And then that's it. And then this is where we are now.
And that's one thing that I've been so proud of Kim as well, is that I think she's like the most hardworking person I've ever met in my life, and that she will do anything for you and Ocean.
Yeah.
I mean, me speaking of this right now makes me emotional because I've really seen how much she loved you and how much she loved Ocean, and the 3 of you having that love for each other and me being a witness. I've always been so thankful of that moment that I had with all of you, and of course with Skittles. And then so now tell me how it is being there in Vegas and you being a homeowner now too.
It's really nice that she was able to get the house that she really wants to, you know, because she always said, if we're moving, it has to be a house with a pool. So, you know, it's different. Even if the first home that we bought was in Indiana, it wasn't like we just lived there for a little bit, and then her parents are now living in it. So it doesn't really, like, this one is really like ours, you know. And I can't wait for you ladies to come visit us anytime
And use the pool.
and use the
We're so
pool
excited.
because there's a heater. So I know it's kind of chilly, but yeah. Angel, you should come anytime.
I know I should drive there. I love the line that you said that anywhere you go, home is where the three of you are because that's
Yes.
family. But now that you bought a house, which is the home,
Yes.
would that mean that Vegas will be the last stop as far as trying to live on the different states?
I think never say never for me. I would
Uh-huh.
never, like, because we're such like adventurous people. I think the one reason that's why we stay put in Vegas since 2014 is that we want Ocean to grow up with friends, to like plant his roots a little bit. Because for me and Kim, we're older, so we're okay, you know.
Yeah.
But because we're just waiting for him to go into like early adulthood, and maybe me and Kim will eventually rent this house, you know, it's as an investment, and then me and her will live in like a tiny home, or like we'll live in an RV, or like, you know what I mean. So
Oh my God,
it's
so
really
adventurous.
home. Honestly, the real line is home is where your strongest Wi-Fi is.
Yeah, so that we can do this Zoom meeting all the time
This and
wherever you
Netflix all
are.
the time.
So question, okay now, Toni, because you know what, I'm so happy for you. You know what, like you really like lived a very good life, a very adventurous life. And let's talk about my life coach, Toni. And how did this happen for you?
Okay, so because a lot of my friends who has problems always want to talk to me anyway, so might as well get paid doing it. So okay, so my background is in psychology, and then I've learned a lot from that, and then going into my master's, which is in public health, it concentrates in social and behavioral science. Now, when I was in the Midwest, I was doing a lot of like mental health, behavioral coaching for kids. And then you can see really the root of the problem of like how government and politics govern how we help and service people. So mental health is a big issue in this country, yet is the less served. And in my mind, like, do I go the psychiatrist route or the psychologist route because, you know, after masters, or do I do something that will really resonate with me, not as a career but like a life's purpose? Because so that's why I got certified to be a life coach. And life coaching is not just about the other person being helped. Like when I am with a client, I'm being helped too. It's a co-learning experience. Like this conversation right here could be a life coaching experience. You know, I'm learning from you ladies how you question me, discovering stuff that comes up, you know, that because of how you question me. So that's what it is with life coaching. It's when people ask me, so what are you doing with that now? It's basically like what it has done for me internally, because it really kind of matured me into how I carry myself, how I react to certain things, this pandemic, changes relating to other people. And then eventually you really get to help your friends by listening to them deeper. That's what it is to me.
I think you have so many life experiences and so many life educations that you're able to share with everybody. So it's amazing that you're able to do that by being a life coach.
I'm so like, at first I was like, can I do this? I think I'm too young for it. Like you need to be old. Cause you know, in the framework of like psychology, you need to do all these things, these degrees, these, you know, but honestly, it's not about that. It's the reverse of it. So there's more intuition, there's more spirituality, which is like, if you think about it, they don't talk about that in psychology. It's more like it needs to be science-based, it needs to be fact-based. I'm like, sometimes I can even say, oh, it's the full moon, there's a retrograde. It all incorporates, like, you can be that way if you want to be, you know, you can be all about the stars, and it's okay. Like you can be that person that you want
like
to
today
be.
Halloween, it's like what did you say about the spirituality for the Halloween?
First of all, October. So I'm really glad that we're doing this in October, because October is a very high spirited, every like door is open into the spirit realm because the veil is very, very thin. So being that the October 31st is the second full moon of the month. So we had it in the first week of October, and now we're having it for October 31. And also, this is basically the witches' like New Year. So witches need to be celebrated because, like, as women, you know, we need to be celebrated more because we were always oppressed from before. So October 31st is our New Year.
Wow, I'm getting goosebumps.
Yeah, exactly. You know what, Angel? That's so funny because I know that we've done so many interviews, but for some reason, I've never felt so emotional until right now talking to Toni. So Toni, I just want you to know I'm very thankful to you because you've touched me in so many ways from like 10 years ago since I met you until today. And I really want you to know that you'll always be someone that I will always look up to, respect, love. And I will always say that, you're God's and heaven sent to me as far as like you like saving my life. There, if I could just like put that like in a capsule. Just a quick question also. For those people who basically would like to to contact you being a life coach. Because some people, especially like me as a Filipino, like some Filipinos, they're scared when it comes to like if they approach like a professional help, they would think that it's something about mental health or that they're scared if they say that they go
it's like a
therapy.
stigma. So, they're scared of the stigma.
So there's a stigma. So what can you say about that?
So that is the contrast between why I picked life coaching, as opposed to, let's say, if I became a psychiatrist, and therapy is great, but also it can be used as a team with other life coaches. So, but what it is that as a life coach, we don't look at you as a broken person. We look at you as a whole. So we work with you because you have the potential. We look forward, we look at today, we look at now. There's no judgment. It's always a safe space, as with other therapists. But therapists will kind of like backtrack with your past and heal what is broken from you. As life coaches, we go forward, we move forward. We don't talk about the past. How are you today, and letting go of the past. That's why it's like a team of people that if you need it, they need to, especially nowadays, like the millennials, they have opened that path and less of a stigma. We talk about it more in social media. We need to use social media as an empowering thing that you can talk to it privately. Don't be ashamed about the mental illness. Don't be ashamed of, like, if you have an issue or if you want to work on something. There's mental blocks for everyone. We're human because of that beautiful thing. That's
so
why.
Embrace being human.
Embrace it.
And Toni, I want you to know my life moved forward because of you. Even way before you became a life coach.
You were already a life coach.
You were already a life coach even before you knew it. So I just want you to know that the success that I have today, I think, is because of you. And I really would like to, share with you everything.
We were just a factor and a guide maybe, but it was never because of someone else for your success. Your success is always from you, coming from you, because that's why we were like gravitated towards each other. Because it could have been someone else. It could have been another person, but why you? Because, like a lot of people, like relationships don't work for them. And why is it you that moved in with us? You know what I mean? There's a lot of people out there like that are, having this same issue, but we were meant for each other. So we just kind of gravitated to each other because you're a successful being. You were already in this motion of success and you just didn't move forward. You actually moved upward. That's how bright I see you. And I think that's why we're being emotional and everything, because when I'm talking to you this way, it's like we are spreading the love and the light to each other. Like I do imagine it because I do imagine it like we were in real life, how we are, the three of us, and with Kim, when we're all together, there's that energy.
We're all sisters.
You know what else? And you know what? It's like when I lived in Chicago, that's actually how I found who I am or who I was, or like the person. And I've never felt so loved in the LGBT community until I met Kim. until I met Toni and Ocean. And that, if I could just say this, meeting all of your lesbian friends there and me being loved by all of them without judgment during my pre-transition days when I was still Alvin before Ally. Oh my God. That was like the best time. That was my rebirth when I moved to Chicago.
And we are
Oh my
all
God.
your #1 fans forever. You know that we support you all the way.
That was so
Skittles
fun.
group.
And I joined like on some of the Pride. That was so nice to see the big group, the Skittles, you know, the rainbows. I love it.
You need to repost as a throwback with this video, you know. So
oh yeah, we had the
gonna
picture,
show.
right?
You should show the Snow White as well. Pop it right here, pop it
Photo
right
by
here,
Toni.
something.
Those were the
Yes.
best times. I could really say those were the best times.
Those
So-
were the great times. Those were really good times.
We the alarm already went off a little bit a while ago. But we're open for one last questions.
Okay.
My last question is, why don't we say hi and thank all of our friends in Chicago?
Yes. So I can say hello to Shay and Lou. Who else? So you guys, who do you want to say hi to?
I also want to say hi to like Xteen. Of course, Shay is always there. Love Shay. Xteen and Donna, and who also now lives in Vegas. And having a mental block.
Sheila.
Donna's what?
Donna and Sheila.
Sheila. Marlo, Marlo.
Yes, Marlo and Katrina.
His beautiful and his or her beautiful wife. And I'm just so overwhelmed right now. I'm sorry, I'm all over the place. This is the kind of effect that you do to me, Toni.
I think also like Flory and Brenda.
Oh yeah,
Alexis.
See how big our chosen families are in Chicago.
All the Skittles. There's so many of them. But that's great. Like I'm thinking about it.
It's so fun. You know what? The good thing about there is that when I lived in Chicago, every day was party time with Toni, Kim, and Ocean. And they were the anchor of all the lesbians in Chicago.
Do I have a question? I just need 10 seconds of each for you because I have a question for you, for both of you. So let's say that you are talking to your older self. Let's say the 85-year-old self, the 85-year-old Angel, the 85-year-old Ally. What would you tell your older self? You know, how would you converse with them? What would you tell them?
I would love to stare at her and see how beautiful she is and how happy she is in her life and how amazed I would be that she reached 85. So I would tell her, congratulations, you reached 85. Congratulations for everything that you did. Oh my God, I don't know if I'll reach 85.
You will.
But yeah, that's nice. That's nice of you to say.
How about you?
I would say, hi, Ally. AllyCat Castle, who's 85 years old.
Lola.
Lola. How proud I am of you that even at age 85, you're still doing YouTube. You already have like thousands of videos. And I want you to know that you did the right thing of sharing your stories. Even if no one was watching you, you felt like there was a need for you to tell your story because every person's story matters. Doesn't matter how many see it. As long as you get to touch one person, that's all that matters. And thank you for not giving up with your friends, chosen family, with your family, and for not giving up in your dreams. Because it's only the thing that can really make you move or go forward. And wherever you end up, I want you to know that you did a good job. And I want you to know that I love you and I'm proud of you. And I'm happy for the legacy that you will leave behind. In Jesus'
proud
name,
of you too, Ally.
Very good. That's self-love. That is a self-love question.
Oh, you're crazy.
Is that like a sample of a life coaching by Toni?
That's a sample.
See, so you guys should reach out so that you can have many more positive things to go move up and forward with your lives. Oh,
Up and forward and open. You know.
So I don't think we have a time anymore. Did you have any last quick question, Ali?
I think we covered everything before I cry in my whole
We can
apartment
just have
right
a part
now.
2.
So I'll
we'll
ask
have
the
part
3 quick
two.
tips because all of our guests, we have to ask 3 quick tips, Toni,
Okay.
about what your secrets are for beauty, for health, and for self-care.
Okay. So for beauty is sleep. For self-care is sleep. And for health is also sleep. And breathing. For all 3 of this, it's sleep, breathing, and drink your water. You know, if you think about it, people take this for granted. You don't hydrate yourself. You don't breathe correctly. Breathing is the only thing that we carry from birth to death. So practice it wisely.
I love it. It's very cheap and easy, so you don't have any excuse not to do those 3 tips.
But if you're in LA, be careful where you breathe.
Oh my God.
Well, I have my HEPA filter. So.
Yes. Breathe inside your house. Don't breathe outside too much.
Okay, Toni, why don't you promote any last promotion so we can close out?
So I am on Instagram, YouTube at My Life Coach Toni. That's My Life Coach Toni, Toni. Or you can just text or DM Angel or Ally, and they'll get you connected to me. Again, it's a safe space, no judgment. I don't care if you're an alien from above and you need help. I'm here. That's it.
Well, Toni, I just wanted to know, I mean, this is so weird. This was supposed to be an interview for you, but I felt like I really just had the best life coach moment ever. And thank you so much for life coaching me. I really needed this.
Yes.
Thank you.
And we'll do more in private. We'll do more.
First and foremost, thank you, God, for really putting us together again and having this moment in the best time of the year.
Yes.
Which is Halloween. Thank you so much for us 3 beautiful witches celebrating Halloween and spreading love, in spite of the
Power of 3 will set us free.
Power of 3 will set us
free.
Oh my gosh, I love you.
Well, thank you so much, Toni. Thank you for being here with us, for sharing your positive self, your positive life, and more positive lives for everyone you touch. Thank you very much, everybody, for watching. Please keep watching us. We're highlighting individuals that make a difference in our community, in the LGBTQ community, in the global Filipino community. Please keep watching. Sisters like Angel and Ally. Tomorrow we have a live stream with the Starlit Diner cast. I hope you guys already watched all of the episodes that came up this week. Please keep watching AllyCat Castle also on YouTube. And of course, my Life Coach Toni also on YouTube and Instagram. And I'll be putting all of those information down at the bottom. So happy Halloween, everybody. Thank you very much for watching.
Happy Halloween.